Tampa, Florida. Jacob, welcome to the show. Wayne, if Jacob takes over the world, I'll be very happy because he's driven. He's clearly going to solve a lot of problems in the world, but driven for the right reasons. I mean, that's as perfect as it gets, right? Somebody with his forcefulness, and yet with the right cause in mind.
Absolutely. You know what? I hope Jacob can be the next CEO of Souls for Souls because, you know, I'm not 14, I'm 45. So, you know, I want him to continue his education. I want him to continue with his huge heart to make a difference because that's what it's all about.
Hi. So I'm Jacob. I'm the Shoe Giver of Tampa. And you know that video, that's real footage from about this time last year. And that was, for me, a feel-good moment because at the age of 10, I had an idea. I wanted to do something to change my community and make a difference for kids in the immediate Tampa Bay area. And, you know, I came out, I brainstormed with my mom for a little bit in her office, and then I walked out thinking, you know what, here we go, I can conquer the world, and whoever I ask for shoes, they're just going to give it to me. Well, it turns out that really wasn't the case, and my voice now is a little bit deeper than it was then, and so you can imagine a 10-year-old kid calling a major shoe company and asking for shoes, and I wasn't taken seriously, and you could almost say that there was somewhat some adversity to my cause and the concept of what I was trying to do. So when I got on CNN and had a live interview about my concept and my cause and my organization, it was a big step from where I had originally started. So I'm 10 years old. My first distribution was in March. I started organizing things in November of my 4th grade year when I was 10. And my first distribution consisted of 70 pair of shoes to the CDC, which is a local corporation to develop communities. I brought the shoes, well, I met with the head of the chair of the board there, and when he told me, you know, kids don't have a new pair of shoes that fit them properly. And I think that we all overlook how necessary and how important it is to have a good-fitting, sturdy pair of shoes. I mean, we walk everywhere, and to have, like, picture a kid whose foot is folded over in their shoe with their toes crushed up against the front of their shoe. Okay, that's not something that any kid should have to live with. And so that's really something that drives me. So I went from a 70 shoe distribution, which was my first distribution, and I began to slowly grow and increase, and Metropolitan Ministries, which is a community center here in Tampa, actually called me, and so now quarterly I deliver shoes to the kids there. And every kid, whether I gave them shoes last quarter or whether I gave them, I have no problem with repeating because these kids have absolutely nothing. And so 2 years ago, I was approached by the gentleman you saw on the CNN interview with me, Wayne Elsey. He is the CEO of Souls for Souls, which is a big international shoe charity. And Souls for Souls basically offered to and do provide shoes for me for any distribution that I need shoes for. So I'll go to Metropolitan Ministries, I'll measure the kids, and then I can send Souls for Souls a list, and they'll send me the shoes for those kids. And anywhere else that I need to do that. I did that for kids in the Dominican Republic. I brought 700 pair of shoes to the Dominican Republic to give to kids who also had nothing. This year is going to be a monumental year for my organization. You know, 1,300 pair of shoes it's a big number, but we're going to expand, and I'm going to bring shoes to as many kids around the Tampa Bay area as I can, and I'm going to get schools involved. And so this year I'm looking to really push out with my organization. And I guess a major message with what I do is that it takes so little to make a difference in a kid's life. You know, shoes. I think that a lot of us overlook shoes and take for granted shoes, but you have no idea the look on a kid's face when I hand them a new pair of shoes and how excited they are, how happy they are, and how it just fills them with pride that they get to have a new pair of shoes. So a major message of mine is that it takes so little to make such a big difference in your community and also in someone's life. So today, I have the ability, thanks to Souls for Souls and my other partners and monetary donations, to provide any child in need with a new pair of shoes. And that is the mission statement of my organization. every child deserves a new pair of shoes. And so now, with my partnership with Souls for Souls, I'm able to do that. No matter who, no matter where, no matter when, if a kid is in need and he needs shoes, I am able to get him a new pair of shoes that fit properly, him or her. And this is from me when I was 10 years old, not being able to get any shoes for any kids. So, it's been a big step for me. And I think that anyone can get involved in something like this because, like I said, it takes so little to make a difference in your community. I guess also, it's been a big learning experience for me and also a humbling experience, and it also provides a balance in my life. I'm incredibly busy. I play football, and I do all of these things, but this is a priority for me because when I go to a community center or a children's home and I see kids whose feet are busting out of their shoes, I find it so important to help them that it is a priority for me. And yes, I go to school, and yes, I do all of these things, but Shoe Giver of Tampa is what I focus on and try to spend as much time on as I can. And it's also really helped me grow. I've seen everything. I've seen kids' feet coming out of their shoes. I've seen shoes falling apart. I've seen kids that don't even have shoes. And 2 years ago, the president of Liberia came from Africa to my school. And before she came, there was a PowerPoint displayed in front of the whole school, and there was pictures of kids in Liberia. And the first thing I noticed, kids were looking at, the poor, the housing there, and all of these things. The first thing that I noticed was the feet. None of those kids had shoes, and it was a particular village that she was coming to talk about. So, what did I do? I brought 100 pair of shoes to school the day that she was coming to visit, and I sent them back with her because the image of a kid's bare feet where they should have shoes is something that is it's disturbing to think about because it's such a necessity, and it's something that kids always will need. So Shoe Giver has really helped me to grow and learn and really just be excited about making a difference. And I love what I do, and I just think that it's